So I've done 2 passes so far on the rest of the backyard, down to about 2.5 inches. And I got 2 more passes that I'm gonna do. I wanted to take it a little bit step by step, a little bit more this time, because when I went from the 2.5 inch mark to the 1.5 inch mark, it was pretty thick. And I want to keep the clippings fine. But right now, I've just cut at 2.5 inches, so I have 2 more levels or steps that I'm going to take it down. But before that, I want to apply the XSoil DIY top dressing. And the reason I want to do that now is because, as I showed you in this area, the holes have kind of filled back in already. And I want to make sure some of this gets into the ground. It's not a big deal that the holes are filled in. As it waters and everything, it'll go into the ground. But while that area still has holes open, might as well take advantage of it and put down the stuff that I want to get into the soil now. So before I continue the rest of the back, I'm going to put down the XSoil DIY top dressing. As I talked about this a little bit more in another video, it's composted poultry manure and carbon from hardwood, burned hardwood. And this I got from the Yard Mastery website. I got the link down in the description for stuff I use. Click the link tree, and then under there you'll find Yard Mastery, and you'll find this. It was on sale when I bought it. Last time I checked, it was sold out, but you never know if it might come back. But I got other stuff that's made with the XSoil. They have a fertilizer. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but you'll find it when you search for XSoil. This is from the Carbon Earth company. You search for the Carbon Earth stuff, you'll find the other stuff that they have. It's also a fertilizer with this stuff built in. Since I already have fertilizer, I bought this just to add more manure and more organic matter to the soil. This does not have a setting to use for your spreader, so you're gonna have to guess it. It does say that it covers 4,500 square feet, and I have about 5,000 square feet back here, so it's not gonna be the full amount for the whole area, but I'm gonna try to get some of this on the whole area, and some is better than none. At least that's what I think. So what I'm gonna do is I'll put some in the spreader, and I'll check, see how big the prills are, and I'll compare it to the spreader hole, how open it is, and I'll adjust the spreader on a lower setting so I can make sure that I get it spread out pretty evenly and get some everywhere. And if it works out that well, then I'll either keep it the same or I'll adjust it. If it's coming out too fast, I'll lower it. If it's coming out too slow, I'll increase it. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So I did the first pass on the setting of 7. I have a Scott standard spreader, and it spread pretty good. I put down more than half the bag, so I probably put down about 2/3 of the bag at that setting. I did put down in the front a couple passes, so I won't go back to not the very front, but the side front, the front side on the other side, the small strip. I put some down there too, and down this side where I had leveled. So that's those are taken care of. I'm not going to add more there for now. I want to use the rest of it all back here. The setting of 7 worked out pretty good. I'm going to try to go a little bit wider between, and I'm going to go put it down in perpendicular to the way I put it down last. So let's go do that. worked out pretty well. So setting of 7 on the spreader, I was able to make 2 passes. I still had enough, so I went back and did the side of the front side over on the other side of the grass. And I'm just gonna continue cutting now. If anything did get trapped in the lawn debris, when we rake it up, it'll fall off. When I'm mowing it, it'll fall off. So not a big deal. This isn't like the seed where you want it to stay in place. This just has to get into the soil, and that's all that matters. So I'm gonna keep going, and I'll be back later when I'm ready to put the seed down. And I'm gonna show you what else I'm gonna be putting down with the seed when I am ready to overseed. All right, so it's about 5 in the afternoon now. Just finished dethatching, raking up. But I gotta tell you, raking to dethatch is horrible. If you can avoid it, do it. It's feasible. You may need a couple days to do it. It's doable though, but it's gonna take forever, and it's gonna rain tonight, and I want to get the seed down now. So I asked a friend of mine who's got a 0-turn and the thatch rake attachment, and this thing was awesome. All done and piled up in about 20 minutes. Raked the whole thing. The ground, you can see the dirt. It is so clean. Do yourself a favor, get a dethatcher. You could skip the dethatching, it's not necessary, but my grass had so much dead material in it that I don't want to leave it overnight. Over the winter. So, in the fall, it's a good idea to get it raked up. It is optional, you don't have to do it. Not everybody recommends doing it, but this was such a time saver. If you have the ability to do it, get it mechanically done with the time rake. So I'm just gonna get these cleaned up with a manual rake now. And I'll be putting the seed down very soon. All right, so I just finished putting the seed down. Did some leveling, leveled the spots. We finished dethatching the backyard and putting the seed down. So now we're putting peat moss down. I'm putting down this fertilizer, and I'm gonna put down 1 bag of this fungus control. It's for up to 5,000 feet in the preventative rate. So that's what I'm gonna be putting it down at. And then I think that's gonna be it for tonight. Tomorrow I got some more stuff I wanna put down on top, but we're just gonna put peat moss down to cover up the seed, put the fertilizer down, and this fertilizer is supposed to be for 2,500 square feet, so I'm putting half the dose right now. The other half I might put down tomorrow, or I might put the other starter fertilizer at the half rate as well, so that I don't put too much nitrogen down. I don't want fungus problems like I had in the front yard. So that's where we're at, and I think that's going to be the end of tonight. You can see over here, peat moss going down to cover the front. Family's helping out. Thank you to the family, and I will catch you next time. Hey, how's it going? This is Mike, and today I'm continuing the overseeding for my backyard. Last time, the last thing I finished doing was putting down peat moss on some of the more bare spots. And I put down a bag of the Menards natural fertilizer, which covers 2,500 square feet, so it's half a dose. I put it over 5,000 square feet, so it's half of the full amount, which is, each bag is about 1/2 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. So I only have put down about 1/4 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet so far. Today I'm gonna add the Menard starter fertilizer. This is also about half a pound per 1,000 square feet. So I'm gonna put this at a lower rate too. This is meant to cover 5,000 square feet. I've already used about maybe a third of it or so, or a quarter, I don't know. But even at the full rate, I'd be putting down about 0.75 pounds per square feet, which is the highest I would want to go. So it's okay if I go the full rate, but I'm gonna actually spread this out. Since it's not even a full bag, it's gonna be less than that. It's gonna be somewhere between 0.5 and 0.75, probably around 0.6 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet today. And then after I put this down, I'm gonna put this down. This is Hydretain. This helps to keep water around the root zone longer. So I'm gonna apply this with the hose end sprayer, and that'll reduce how much water I've got to put down to keep the grass moist. Because right now it's September, the temperature has gotten colder. It's about the 60s, 70s, and it gets down to like the 40s, 50s at night. So every morning I wake up with dew on the ground. So this, in theory, should take that moisture and keep it in the soil longer, so I don't have to water as much, and maybe not even have to water at all, because we're in a rainy season. I mean, you can look at this spot behind me. You can see it's still moist, still looks moist. I haven't watered at all today, so I'm gonna try to avoid having to water by using the Hydretain. Unless it gets really warm out, then I'll add some more water if I have to. But I'm gonna start by spreading this out. It says to set the Scott's Standard spreader, which is what I have, to 4.5. So I'm gonna set it to 4.5, and I'll put it down along all the area that I had overseeded a couple days ago. Yesterday I didn't get to do anything, so it's been 2 days since, actually it's been less than 2 days since I put the seed down. Tonight will be 48 hours since putting seed down. I'm on my lunch break right now, so I'm just gonna put these two down, and then I'm gonna go back to work. And in the evening, after the kids are done playing outside and everything, I'm gonna spray Tenacity or Meso Forest C. I'll spray that down to prevent weeds from germinating. I sprayed that at my in-law's house when I overseeded their lawn, and they told me it's working. Some weeds are coming up, but they're turning white right away. That's what I want, because I got some weeds in the front lawn because I didn't get a chance to put it down before overseeding. I did throw some more seed down in the front lawn too, so I will spray the whole lawn. It's been over a month since I put down seed the first time, so it's been growing for about 4 weeks, so it should be okay to spray on top of that to prevent some more weeds from germinating with the recent seeds that I just put down. So let's get to this application. Okay, so fertilizer is down. Finish the rest of the bag. That's it. It doesn't have any iron in it, and that's one of the benefits of the natural fertilizer, is that it has iron in it. It has less than the malorganite. It has 1.5% of the whole bag. 36-pound bag is iron. Malorganite's 2.5% of the 32-pound bag is iron. So you're going to get more iron out of malorganite. But there are other ways to get iron. And one of the applications I'm going to do later is using microgreen, which has micronutrients in it and iron too. So it's going to supplement the iron that I wasn't able to put down with this. There are other iron sprays too, or other granular iron supplements like ironite. I'm gonna put ironite on my in-laws' lawn because the fertilizer that comes in the bag of the Scott's thicker lawn doesn't have any iron. So they need iron on their lawn. I'm gonna put a bag of ironite on theirs to give them some iron. And now I'm gonna spray the Hydretain, and then that's gonna be it for this afternoon, or this for my lunch break now, until later after work in the evening before bed. We'll spray the Tenacity down for the weed prevention. So let's get on with the Hydretain. So that's the whole bottle of the Hydretain. There's a tiny little bit got stuck in there. Some tips they recommend to apply to moist soil, so that I'm guessing that's so that it can get into the ground a little bit faster. If it's already wet, the whole water tension, surface tension of the water is a little bit already. It helps it to go together because the water surface tension keeps the water forming into bubbles and stuff. So it helps it to get soaked into what's already wet. So if something's already wet, it's easier to pass through. If it's dry, it's a little bit harder to break the surface tension. But I did not moisten the soil first. I assumed because of the morning dew that it was already moist. If it's not, so be it. Whoa. I gotta turn off the water first. And then after that, you need to water it in with 1/4 to 1/2 inch of water. So I'm just gonna turn the sprinklers on and let it soak some into the soil so it can get down into the root zone. And then by the evening time, the leaves of the grass and weeds or whatever are still here. Should be dry, and even if they're not, it doesn't matter when I apply the Tenacity, because I really just want the Tenacity to get on the soil surface. I want it to sit there, spread out, so any weed seeds that do germinate will die off immediately. So I'm going to go turn the sprinkler on now. I'll be back later to spray Tenacity this evening, hopefully, and then I'll be done with the backyard for a couple weeks until I apply another dose of the fungicide and spray down the micro green, which I'm also going to apply to the front yard too. So that's it for now. I'll catch you later. Alright, I got my backpack sprayer on. I've already gone through most of this tank. I'm spraying the backyard now with Tenacity. I'm not going to show you the whole process because I already covered that in part 1 of my backyard rehab series. So if you want to check out how I'm doing it, that's how I'm doing it. This is going to be my last step for the next couple weeks. I will give it a break, and we'll see how the grass is starting to grow in a couple of weeks. In a month, we'll see how full it is. As I mentioned before, my Sunjo dethatcher is not available for me to use for my backyard rehab. I borrowed the dethatcher from my friend. It is possible to rake if you want to do the whole thing. This is 2 days after I had seeded. This is the end of the limit for putting Tenacity down. You want to get it down within the first 48 hours after seeding. Otherwise, you're pushing it because you don't want it to get on any germinated seeds. And I also learned that the fungicide I use, the Bayer bio-advanced fungicide, you're not supposed to put that down at seeding. You should put it down 3 weeks before seeding or a month after seeding. I already put it down, so it's too late for that. If you do want to put a fungicide down with your seed, you can use the Scotch Disease X. That is safe to put down at seeding. I think, it's just a guess, it's probably the same fungicide that they put in their grass seed. Their grass seed comes with the fertilizer and fungicide and water holding things, whatever, coating on it. And that's probably what's on it. So I'm doing this separately to prevent the weeds from coming. Well, even if you're going to use that Scott's, those Scott's coated seeds, you want to put down Tenacity when you're seeding, because they do have weed seeds, and inevitably there will be weeds popping up. So you want to do that to prevent the weeds from coming up as a pre-emergent. If you still have some weeds in the lawn, it'll take care of them too. But the fungicide you won't have to worry about, probably, if you're using a Scott seed. Since I use Black Beauty Ultra, it doesn't have any coating. Or if you're using like a GCI seed or Triple Threat or any other seed that doesn't have a coating on it, put down the Scott's Disease X at the preventative rate while you're seeding if you want to do a fungicide. Especially if the conditions are good for fungus, like humidity, lots of some moisture, overnight moisture, rainy season, heat, hot during the day, you'll see some fungus activities. You can put that down. I'm gonna go finish up. That's gonna be the end of this video. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Smash the like button, as they say. It feels kind of cheesy to say that, but please give me a thumbs up, follow, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and I'll catch you next time.